Hi, this is Middle Class Matt from don'tbuythehype.blogspot.com and NC Sports Genius 1. And you can follow me on Twitter on NC Sports Genius 1 as well. Today I'm doing a review on the fourth episode of HBO's drama Luck. Luck is a really great show about horse racing. It has such a broad scope when you look at the track, and the cinematography is really great. It's shot a lot like a movie, so it is high quality and really good. Now, I like the show, but so far until this episode, the jury was really out whether I thought it was going to be one of my favorite shows. In this episode, the four gamblers that are always sort of getting into mischievous activities sort of at it again. Now, Jerry is sort of broken off from the pack. These four gamblers function a lot like a family. And Jerry's gone off and he's a gambling junkie. And he's really sort of dove into the poker tables and into the poker lifestyle. He's at the poker tables a lot. And the other three are sort of hovering around their racehorse they bought, and they sort of see that as their future. Escalante's, his name is Turo Escalante's. I don't know if I've mentioned him earlier, but he's a really great character. He is the trainer of the four gamblers' horse, and he is becoming agitated by the guys hovering over. He really wants to be able to do his work. Escalante is a snake-like character. He's clever, he's smart, he's shrewd. He's always sort of thinking ahead, but at the same time, you don't ever know when he's going to bite you, and you definitely don't trust him. Now, Ace, played by Dustin Hoffman, his character is still doing about the same thing he's always done, and that's putting pieces in place to control the track and to get his sort of criminal enterprise back on track, if you will. He also has sort of a love interest, a lady named Claire, who he's donating money to her charity. She's come into the picture. I'm not really excited about that plot line, but we'll see where it goes. The interesting plot line to me is that you meet the character Michael, which he's talked about several times. Michael's actually played by Michael Gambon, who is a very good actor who's done lots of good work, but is most known for the Harry Potter movies. So he's a big guest star, and you meet him and you see that they sort of have a rough around the edges relationship. They are not exactly happy with each other. Michael seems to be the one in power with the money, and Ace is sort of trying to restore his rank, but they're definitely not close friends, and there's some sort of competition, and a lot of that can spring from Ace having to go to jail for Michael. Dustin Hoffman's character Ace also hires Nathan Israel. I've talked about that in past reviews, and he begins to show that Nathan is going to sort of watch Michael. So he's paid him to come along for the ride, but to mostly deal with Michael. But you're not exactly clear what Nathan's going to do. Ace is also grooming Nathan and bringing him along in sort of the ranks of how you do things and getting his mindset and philosophy in the right direction. Walter Smith, played by Nick Nolte, his horse is beginning to run, and last episode the jockey Ronnie fell off and broke his collarbone. So he's brought back in Rosie to ride the horse, and this really brings me to an important part of the show. Before I did this review, I really thought there hasn't been a wow moment in this show to win me over. Sort of alluded to that earlier. And this was the wow moment. I really like to watch the horses run, and the horses, in this instance, Walter Smith has supposedly the best horse. Really, the show is centered around. And Rosie's riding the horse, and they have a race. Well, this horse stumbles out of the opening blocks and gets way behind. So she's way behind riding Walter's horse. And then all of a sudden, just like pure motion. It just takes off like a fireball and rips down the track, right by every other horse, and shows just what kind of a magical athlete it is. You can see the horse's muscles and the skin pull tight and shine in the sun. It's really incredible, this scene, and it's all to the background of string music. So it's really cool. And this is the moment that not only won me over, but it really reflects what we can see in sports sometimes. And that is these moments that are so great that they don't just affect us as sports fans, they affect us as human beings. And these moments transcend sports, if you will, and sometimes even give us great clarity. If you want an example, maybe like when the Red Sox beat the Yankees down 3-0 and won their first World Series in like 100 years or something, and that would be a moment where it just brought great clarity to everything else. And that's what happens. Well, a lot of the characters are actually sitting around the track and they witness this, and while you as the viewer get this feeling, also the characters feel that feeling at the same time with you, which is really neat. And so the horse is running at the same time the jockey Leon is running, and they're sort of paralleling each other, except they're running to survive. Leon's trying to lose weight and stay in the game, and this horse is really, is trying to establish itself and keep the people around it in the game. And then the gamblers are watching it, and when they see this, it brings a moment of clarity to Marcus, sort of the head of the gamblers, and he goes and gets Jerry out of the gambling rooms with the poker playing. And then actually the agent who represents the jockeys, Joey, sees it, and he sort of sees this as a blown opportunity because he knows that his jockey could be riding this horse, and as he says, with unlimited potential. So this scene sort of served as the hinge to open the door for everything else. So it's really incredible. The rest of the episode, you get to see Walter Smith after he sees the horse run like that, and he almost becomes more frightened because it's almost like everything good that he's wanted is almost there. And as he talks to the horse, he talks about its father and how it died and how he just couldn't stand if he lost his horse too. Ace Bernstein has an interesting moment where he talks in the end. He always does in every show. And when you see Dustin Hoffman in this role, his character has a lot going along beneath the surface. And there's a point where he's laying in the bed and you see his facial expressions and you don't know if he's in love with this new girl Claire, or if he's sad, or if he's depressed, or what. But there's just a lot going on and a lot of turmoil underneath the surface. So anyway, this show is really good and I've really enjoyed it so far. I look forward to the 5th episode. This is Middle Class Matt from Don'tBuyTheHype.blogspot.com and NC Sports Genius 1, and I'll see you next episode.